In this tutorial, we will cover absolute and relative references in Excel. Please open the file O2 Absolute and Relative References. Formulas can contain numbers like a 5 or an 8, and we refer to those as static formulas, but more often than not, they reference the contents of cells. A cell reference tells Excel where to look for the values you want to use in a formula. For example, the formula equal A5 plus A6 would add the values in cells A5 and A6. Using cell references is useful because if you change the values in the reference cells, the formula results automatically update using the new values. There are two types of cell references, relative and absolute. Go and click on cell C4 and you'll see up in the formula bar B4 divided by 12. Here we're going to deal with relative references. A relative reference refers to cells in relation to the location of the cell that contains the formula. When the formula is moved, it will end up referencing new cells based on their location. Relative references are the default type of references in Excel. So if you would, go and click on the Copy button, click on cell C5, and click on Paste. You'll see it's a different formula placed into C5. Up in the formula bar, you'll see it's using B5 divided by 12. Click on C6, click on Paste, and you'll see up in the formula bar it's now B6 divided by 12. You can also use your autofill in the lower right-hand corner of the active cell and drag that down, and that will fill in your reference information along your cells. If you want to see your cell reference information, I find it easy to go over to the formula bar, look in the Formula Auditing group, and look for Show Formulas. If you click on Show Formulas, it will expand to show you your actual formulas, and you can much easier see the references used in those cells. As you can see, it starts off with B4 there in C4, goes down to B5, B6, B7, and B8. The 12 as a static number doesn't change. Click on Show Formulas to change that back. Additionally, you can end up working with absolute references. An absolute reference always refers to the same cell, even when the formula is copied and pasted. Absolute references are usually indicated by dollar signs in front of the column letter and the row number. Go and click on cell D4. You'll see in D4 it's currently looking at cells B4 and multiplying that times F1. Over here we have B4 and up here we have F1. Now if we use the autofill to drag it down and copy your information, you might notice you'll get a lot of zeros. Well, if I click on the last one here, you'll see it's doing B8, which is right there, times F5. Well, there's nothing in F5, so we have 3,500 times 0. And that's where we run into an error. So if you would, click again on D4, and we're going to change this information so it will use our references. Now up on the formula bar, click between the F and the 1 reference, or you could open up the cell and click between it. You need to put the dollar sign in front of the F and in front of the 1. Now you could simply type it in manually, or please understand there is a shortcut. The shortcut is usually the keyboard F4 or function 4 key. If you tap that, you'll see it now has $F, $1, or absolute F, absolute 1, which means it will not change. If you continue pressing the F4 key, you'll see that the dollar sign is in front of the 4 but not in front of the F. This means that's an absolute row reference. The row will not change, although the column can change. Press the F4 function 4 key again. You'll see now it's a $F1, which means the column is locked or absolute, but the row can change. And if you press the function 4 key again, you'll see it goes back to just your normal referencing. Press it one more time so it's in front of both of them to lock it down and keep cell F1 selected. Then use your autofill, put your pointer on the corner and to go ahead and drag it down. And you'll see that now there are actual numbers in them. If we click up on Show Formulas, you'll see that the B4, which we didn't lock in any way, changes, just as it did over in the column C. But the F1, which is absolute F, absolute 1, doesn't change and stays the same throughout. Go ahead and change it back to Show Formulas, and this helps you understand the difference between your absolute and relative referencing. It'll come in handy as you work in your formulas in Excel.